Good afternoon and welcome to Premier League Live for the big one, the Manchester Derby, to round up another Premier League weekend. We have 3 games ongoing. We'll update you from the scores from those games at the moment. You can see those scores, but let's get to the team news for this one, and some big team news for both teams. Manchester United start with Andre Onana in goal, who made a big penalty save in the week in the Champions League. Diogo Dalot, Harry Maguire, who scored the only goal in their Champions League win in the week, starts in defence with Johnny Evans, and Victor Lindelof makes up the back 4. Sofiane Amrabat and Scott McTominay are in midfield alongside Christian Eriksen, and a captain Bruno Fernandes on the right, Rashford on the left, and Rasmus Højlund through the middle for Manchester United. For Manchester City, Ederson starts in goal. They have a back 3/4 of Kyle Walker as captain, Ruben Dias and Josko Vardiol, with John Stones in that kind of inverted full-back role. Rodri in midfield alongside Bernardo Silva, with a front 4 of Julian Alvarez, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish and Erling Haaland. On the bench for Manchester United, Bayindir, Varane, Reguilon, Mount, Mabry, Anthony Garnacho, Menu and Martial. And for City, Ortega, Lewis, Ake, Gomez, Nunez, Kovacic, Bob, Phillips and Doku. Well, getting through that team news as quickly as possible, as there is quite a strange mood, a sombre mood around Old Trafford this afternoon, after the recent passing of Sir Bobby Charlton, a Manchester United legend, and England legend too. He will be remembered this afternoon with a minute's silence to remember a man who made this club what it is today. A very beautiful moment inside Old Trafford as legends of the club join the 2 teams and the officials and the whole crowd inside Old Trafford in a minute's applause for Sir Bobby Charlton. Well, now the game. The big Manchester Derby, the 191st Manchester Derby. A derby that has been quite mixed in recent years. City have had all the trophies of the 2 clubs in recent seasons and the recent decade, but Manchester United have a few good moments to remember from derbies in recent years. Most notably, of course, their 2-1 win in the derby here last season against Manchester City. They'll be hoping for a result similar to that this afternoon against their bitter rivals across the city of Manchester. Well, the last time these 2 met was in an FA Cup final, where Manchester City scored within 16 seconds. Man United will be hoping for a better start than that against Manchester City this afternoon. And Scott McTominay gets us underway for the 191st Manchester Derby at Old Trafford this afternoon. No better place to have such a game of football. Here's Andre Onana. Of course, saved a massive penalty in the week in the Champions League to give Manchester United that first win of the season in the Champions League after 2 successive defeats in their first 2 games. Here is Bruno Fernandes. And Diogo Dalot is joined by Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans and Victor Lindelof, and kind of injury deficitated defence for Manchester United. Victor Lindelof playing that left back role. Nice from through the lines. Højlund. Lovely from Manchester United. Here's Rashford on the left. Works it into the box. Rashford has to go back to Eriksen. Keeps it to Dalot. Dalot, will he cross it? He will. Crosses it to the back post, but just about kept in by Lindelof, but it ended up going behind from him and behind for a goal kick. But I thought Dalot's cross was too deep, but Lindelof managed to keep it in for a moment, but it ended up on the crossbar and behind for a goal kick to Manchester City, which will allow them to get their first touch on the ball this afternoon. Pep Guardiola's side only had 1 win away from home against last season's top 9. That was Arsenal away. They lost quite a few of those, the likes of Liverpool and Manchester United. And here's Manchester United again. They've stole the ball. Here's McTominay. McTominay to strike. Not much pace and power behind that one from Scott McTominay. He scored 2 against Brentford later on to give United the win. But it was all from the poor bit of midfield play. It was Josko Vardiol actually that had the ball. United just won it back. Scott McTominay on the run through the middle. He didn't catch it right. He made it a simple enough catch for Edison, but it was good pressing from Manchester United high up against Josko Vardiol. With United playing, or City playing in that kind of hybrid back 3, back 4 this afternoon, with John Stones picking up that inverted fullback position. As you can see, the scores down the left-hand side of your screen from the other Premier League games that kicked off at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Tell you about those in a moment. Here's John Stones. Out wide to Bernardo Silva on the left. Can City create something from an attack here? Have to go all the way back to Ruben Dias, though, on the halfway line. Now Kyle Walker, who has the captain's armband for City. Rodri. Down the right-hand side is Foden. Has to go back to Kyle Walker. City holding up the ball, having the possession at the back at the moment. Have to go back to Edison with that high press for Manchester United. Well, as I mentioned, the scores from the 2 o'clock games. Villa have secured a very good lead against Luton. They were 1-0 up at half-time, but they're now 3-0 up. Goals from Moussa Diaby and a Tom Lockyer own goal as Villa 3 goals to the good. Brighton haven't made more of their lead. They were 1-0 up the last time we heard from that game. Evan Ferguson got the opener, but João Palhinha, the main man for Fulham, has levelled it for the Cottagers on the road on the south coast this afternoon. And it is still all the same at Anfield as Liverpool lead 2-0 against Forest, but it's been all Liverpool. Forest yet to have a shot on target in that game. Liverpool 2, Forest 0, and those games are inside the round about the last 15 minutes of those games. We'll update you on the full-time scores from those ones. Also, as I mentioned before, we'll keep you up to date with the game in the Scottish Premiership between Rangers and Hearts. A big game at Ibrox this afternoon for Rangers and their new manager. But Lawrence Shankland has put Hearts 1-0 up in that one. Put them up 1-0 up 5 minutes into the game. We're now around 34 minutes gone. Still 1-0 to Hearts. Back to the Manchester derby. Here's Kyle Walker. Trying to get City forward, trying to find Haaland there, but that was broke apart by United. And now Højlund, lovely layoff, good hold-up play. Finds Rashford on the left-hand side. They're looking to get bodies up the pitch, United. Trying to find the run. Rashford tried to find Lindelof, but just got escaped them. But Lindelof will pick it off again, but he was in an offside position from that second one, so that will be a City free kick. Better from United. You can see what they're trying to do. City just try and play the ball. It was blocked initially in the midfield, and then the ball just bounced towards Rasmus Højlund, who held off the kind of the midfielder in Rodri, and kind of held it up and gave it out to Rashford on the left-hand side. It was a really good breakaway by Manchester United. Just couldn't make anything of it, though. You can see the effort and what they're trying to do. City, who have the best defence in the league coming into this one, 7 goals conceded. Only 3 teams on single digits, and they're the top 3: Tottenham, Arsenal and Liverpool, all with less than 10 goals conceded alongside Manchester City this season. So strong defence for Man City, as always, as expected. Here's Maguire. Back to Andre Onana, and both under recent criticism, Onana and Maguire, but both were the real stars of the show in the Champions League game during the week. Onana saving a penalty and Maguire scoring the only goal of the game to win it for Manchester United. Here's Dalot. Good hold-up play from McTominay that time. Won the ball in the middle. The worry for Manchester United, though, will be their defence. Maguire and Johnny Evans, not the quickest of players. Against pacey City forwards, Onana under pressure. Just kept in by Lindelof, retreating at the last second, and Onana has to knock it long. Try and get Rashford on the ball. Eriksen gives it straight back to Manchester City. Here's Kyle Walker. We have another goal from Anfield. We'll tell you about that in a moment. As City have the ball here. Alvarez. Nice ball to find Grealish in a pocket of space. Grealish trying to feed it out to the left to find Bernardo Silva, who does keep it in on that left-hand side, up against Dalot. Silva has to cut it back to Gvardiol now. Here's Alvarez. Stones to Rodri. Rodri working it in. Finds it to the left-hand side to Bernardo Silva. 7 minutes gone, 0-0. Rodri with the ball in, right to the back post. Kyle Walker made a run, cuts it back. Foden with a header. Saved! Haaland trying to get it in off the line. Hi, it didn't go in the net from City there. Haaland and Foden both trying it, but Onana with a save and Harry Maguire off the line to put it behind for the corner. It all came from the Kyle Walker run down the right-hand side. He heads it back into play, and Foden just heads it straight at Andre Onana. Fantastic save by the Manchester United keeper. It just bounces it up into the air. Haaland just looks to tap it. A fantastic second save by Onana, and it just bounces onto the line for Harry Maguire to head away, or to clear away for the corner, which has just come in, and United will get a free kick from that corner. So now that we have a break in play, we can tell you about Liverpool, and Mo Salah has scored for Liverpool to wrap it all up there. 3-0 to Liverpool at Anfield, making it a much easier affair than they did last season. They had to win it through Mo Salah. 3-2 last season against Forest, but they're 3-0 to the good. And it was a counter-attacking goal. All started from Dominic Szoboszlai. Lovely ball out, trying to find Salah. The keeper's caught out. Matt Turner's come for it. Salah just has to slot it into an empty net. He'll not score an easier goal than that this season. And Salah, that's now 6 goals in 4 games for Liverpool in his last 4 appearances in record scoring form. Here's Bernardo Silva for City. Grealish on the left, on the edge of the box, finds Bernardo Silva again, bouncing around. United get it cleared through Maguire. Now Fernandes on the chase against Gvardiol, but that will run out for a City throw. Gvardiol from that throw-in gives it back to Ruben Dias. Dias still on the ball. Walker has to go back to Dias. Now Rodri. Stones. Right to Kyle Walker on the right hand side. Back infield to Rodri. Now back to Walker. And this is what we kind of expecting to see. Manchester United holding their own in their shape defensively. Just waiting patiently for City to do something so they can latch onto it like that. A mistake from the back from Gvardiol. Here's Hoyland. Now it's a 4-on-4. Ball's deflected a bit. Took it away from Scott McTominay. Ericsson picks it up. Chests it down. Can he hold it in? He does so. Amrabat. Now Maguire. And now Johnny Evans again. It's good from United. They waited until City just made that slight mistake, that slight switch ball, and it just didn't work out for City, and United pounced upon it. Really good pressing. Now we have another goal, actually from the 2 o'clock games, and it's a goal at Villa Park. But it's not gone the way you would have expected. Luton have a goal back. Surely it's just a consolation at this late stage, but Emi Martinez has let Luton back into this one slightly. They have a goal back, Luton. They're going to need to do quite a lot of attacking in the last 5 minutes if they're going to get something from that game. 3-1 Villa. Kyle Walker for Manchester City. 11 minutes gone in this Manchester derby as the ball from Walker finds Foden on the run, but the heavy touch from Phil Foden will run out of grass, and that will be a goal kick to Manchester United. And Pep Guardiola. 7 Premier League managerial wins against United. Only Arsene Wenger has more with 12. It's an impressive record, that, considering a few recent upsetting results over the years against United. Some cracking results. Here's Foden. Alvarez coming deeper, finds Rodri. Out wide to the Grealish on the left hand side. Running at Dalot. Jack Grealish cuts it back, but Rasmus Højlund is waiting there, and he wins it back for United, and now he's on a run. Rasmus Højlund, he's got Rashford running through the middle. Can he find him? He's not going for Rashford, he finds Ericsson instead. Ericsson now, Fernandes on the left hand side, keeping Manchester United's attack alive. Ericsson, McTominay, kind of isolated on that left hand side. Fernandes trying to keep it alive, but City win it back nicely. Here's Alvarez to clear it away, and that ball forward is straight back to Harry Maguire. Again, you can see United are just waiting for City to get a bit casual and just pop up from nowhere with a player and just go straight on the counter-attack instantly. Here's Johnny Evans. Back to Andre Onana. Evans. Taking his time here. Back to Onana again. Evans. Onana. Goes long this time. Onana trying to find Højlund, and he's all over him was Ruben Dias, and that will give Manchester United the free kick. That focal point for United really causing City a few issues early on. Højlund seems to be a real pain in the Man City defence in the first 13-14 minutes or so. The referee this afternoon is Paul Tierney. He's given that free kick. Ericsson. Højlund. Heavy touch. Now Dalot. Back to Maguire. Harry Maguire out to the right hand side is Dalot. Now Fernandes. Back across to Evans, and just about got that one to Harry Maguire. Bit of a panicky pass, that one from Evans, but it still worked out for United. Here he is again, Johnny Evans. Lindelof straight at Rodri twice. Manchester United played it to Rodri, and now Haaland's in behind, just escaped him. Onana was quick to that one to boot it clear away from Erling Haaland. They knew what they were doing there, City. Foden done really, really well. Spotted Haaland, was completely unmarked, but just too much pace on the ball for Haaland to try and chase, and Onana did well to anticipate that and clear it away. City come again with Kyle Walker. 15 minutes gone, 0-0. City dominating the possession as expected, but United having a few glimpses of what they can do against this City defence. Foden. Alvarez. Back to Foden. Rodri. Now John Stones. In a bit of space. Gives it out to Jack Grealish on the edge of the box. Flicks it on for Bernardo Silva. At the byline, cuts it back. Falls for Rodri. Over the bar. And behind for the United goal kick. He got to the byline, Bernardo Silva, but Man United had the 18-yard box packed out with players, 6 or 7 players in a small, tight space, defending the City players. And they dealt with that well, United, but not the best. The strikes from Rodri initially, anyway. Here's Andre Onana then for Manchester United. Goes long. Straight at Rodri, who heads it down for give it to Haaland. Takes a touch, Haaland, and he's taken out there by Sofian Amrabat. So that'll be a City free kick inside the United half. It's also what Haaland can offer as a number 9. So he can offer quite a lot. City about to take this free kick then. Rodri. Silva. Now Vardiol. Out to Grealish on the left-hand side up against Dalot. Back to Bernardo Silva. Grealish. Nice reverse ball to Silva. Right across the box. Headed away by Maguire. Haaland couldn't hold it up that time and City have it back. Grealish. Back to Ruben Dias on the halfway line. Walker. Back to Dias. Rodri. Vardiol. Now to Bernardo Silva. Passing it around nicely there, City. A few short passes. Waiting for the spaces to open up. Dias to Vardiol. He's given a few balls away early on here, Josko Vardiol. And he's almost given one away there. Tried to find Grealish, but Dalot played it out for a City throw, which they've taken. Vardiol to Dias. 18.5 minutes gone, 0-0. City have probably edged it in terms of the attacks, but they've dominated the possession, clearly. Grealish trying to link up with Alvarez there, and the ball deflects off Diogo Dalot for a City corner, I think. It is a City corner on the left-hand side. We've got height in there, Manchester City. Alvarez, Rodri, Haaland, Stones, Dias. Got some height to match up there. They're going short though. Stones comes for it, gives it to Grealish. On the left-hand side, whips a ball in, does Jack Grealish. A big save by Onana. Parries it wide for the corner. John Stones at the byline, cuts it back for Grealish on the left-hand side of the box. Just chops back onto his right. Takes a lovely strike at it, Jack Grealish, trying to curl it into that far right corner, and Andre Onana got there and parried it wide for the corner. Really good goalkeeping. So City corner on the right hand side this time. Go long for it, whipped into the box, back post. Bernardo Silva gets the first header, falls to Jack Grealish on the edge. He has to go all the way back to Kyle Walker. They'll build again, City. They'll not give up on this just yet. Alvarez with a cross. Headed away by United, and Eriksen trying to clear it away. Gives it straight back to Manchester City. Walker. Alvarez. Feeds it through the lines. Just too much on that one. They try and find the run of John Stones, and that'll be a United goal kick. Last few minutes of the 2 o'clock games. Villa 3-1 up against Luton. 4 added minutes there, just into the 4th minute of added time in that one. Brighton 1, Fulham 1. It looks to be drop points for Brighton, it seems, at the moment. Although they have 9 added minutes, they've only played 3.5 of those. So still a long way to go in that one. And Liverpool are 3-0 up against Nottingham Forest. They're just into their additional time. Forest have had the best of it the last 5 minutes. They've had quite a few chances, but nothing to break the Liverpool defence yet. They still yet to have a shot on target as well in that one, Nottingham Forest. So that's where we stand at the moment. Where we stand here is that Manchester City have just been given a free kick. Phil Foden went down from Sofian Amrabat battling for the ball, and Amrabat wasn't happy. The home crowd weren't happy with the free kick being given, but Foden wins the free kick for the visitors. So City free kick. United have their back line on the edge of their box. Ball whipped in from the right hand side, and the first man there was Rodri, but it's cleared away. Actually, it was Diaz. Cleared away by United. Walker keeps it alive, bouncing around, and Bruno Fernandes will have enough there, surely. He's under pressure though, and he did well. Finds it to Lindelof. Still under pressure, the United defence, and Fernandes fires it long. Try and take the pressure off for the moment. Maguire coming for it. Wins the header and wins the challenge. That's lovely from Harry Maguire. Lindelof. Højlund. On that left-hand side. Really good for Manchester United. Just to keep the ball. Although just as I say that, they have given it away, and Dalot missed kicks, but he does recover. Just about. Although there's a stoppage here. VAR are actually checking something. They're going to recommend a review. Michael Oliver is the VAR and has just told Paul Tierney to go to the screen. I am unsure as to what he's going to the screen for. A possible penalty, maybe? I'm hearing. It is a penalty, it seems, that they're checking for. Paul Tierney's going to the monitor. We'll just see the replay. I'll explain what's happened. So it's from the free kick. Just see that. Oh, it's a foul, actually. And Rodri against Højlund. And Højlund just pulls back Rodri. As the ball's coming in, he gets his hand right round the kind of torso of Rodri and pulls him back. Holds him from making his run. It's difficult, that one. It looks awful in slow-mo, but he has to try and do something, Højlund. I mean, is he going to let his man run? I mean, it's a tough one, that one. I think if they give this, it's not going to be the most blatant penalty to be given, but you can't argue, really, Højlund. It does look like it is a foul, and we'll see what Paul Tierney gives. His whistle does the screen and points to the spot. Manchester City have a penalty. Rasmus Højlund fouling Rodri from the free kick, held him back, and a free kick to Manchester, from the free kick, and Manchester City now have a penalty to try and take the lead in the Manchester derby. Liverpool had the ball in the net for a fourth there, but Cody Gakpo was deemed to be offside, so that's still 3-0 to Liverpool, just to let you know. But City have this penalty now, and Haaland has the ball. So it looks to be Erling Haaland. Remember, Andre Onana, I've mentioned it a few times, saved the penalty in the Champions League. Made himself the hero during the week. This penalty is arguably much more significant in a much more significant game of football. the Manchester derby. Erling Haaland up against Andre Onana. Can Haaland fire Manchester City into a lead? Onana's taking his time, and he's just been given a yellow card for his time wasting, so Onana's in the book just as he's delaying this penalty. The whistle goes. Haaland steps back, ready to take this penalty. Haaland slots it in the far corner. Onana goes left, Haaland goes right, and Haaland puts Manchester City ahead in the Manchester derby. United 0, City 1, and it's Erling Haaland to slot it past Andre Onana and put the citizens ahead. Rasmus Højlund walking away, still can't believe that he gave a penalty away. VAR recommended a review, and there was only going to be one decision when Paul Tierney went to the screen. A penalty, and what a penalty. Left-footed into the far right corner by Erling Haaland. Sent Onana the other way. Incredible penalty by Erling Haaland. And City lead at Old Trafford. Just seeing the replay of that penalty, it's slightly harsh, but he knew what he was doing, and that's probably what the referee has pointed to. And the more times you watch it, the worse it looks, but that's always going to be the case with these types of things. There will be debate about it, but there was a controversial decision here last season that got Manchester United the win. You get them. Sometimes you get them your way, and sometimes they go against you. It's those types of decisions that hang games in the balance now. City leading, and that gives them the advantage. How will Manchester United respond then to this? Full time from the 2 o'clock kickoffs. Brighton and Fulham did play out a 1-1 draw after 9 additional minutes, and Liverpool did see out a 3-0 win against Nottingham Forest. So a big day for Villa and Liverpool, who make real strides past Newcastle and Brighton, who were both dropped to draws this weekend. That means there's a out-and-out top 5 at the moment in the Premier League. Tottenham, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool and Aston Villa all have at least a 5-point lead on 6th place Newcastle United. And with City winning, they will go back level on points with Arsenal, 2 points behind Tottenham, and they will stay in 3rd at the moment on goal difference at Manchester City, of course, with Arsenal winning 5-0 yesterday. Well, City did go 1-0 up here last season. Jack Grealish, it all took them into the second half to get the lead before Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford goals turned it all around to give United the 3 points in that day. United will know that despite going 1-0 down, the game is far from over. That's lovely from Amrabat. Long ball from Maguire, trying to find a run of Fernandes. Although the ball back to Ederson. Fernandes was very close to picking that one up, and Ederson had to fire it clear as he was under pressure there. And that will be a United throw-in on the right-hand side. They're just showing us the replay again of that penalty. I really don't see a problem with the decision. I think Rasmus Højlund, he's holding Rodri back. He's not going to attempt for the ball. Rodri's clearly making a run for the ball. He's held him back, and it's a foul. I mean, you can't really argue with it. It looks worse on slow-mo, of course, but even in full speed it looks pretty blatant, pretty clear. And just confirmation, Andre Onana has been booked for the 3rd time this season. He needs to watch himself. 2 more yellow cards and he'll miss a game. Still 9 games before that threshold disappears and moves up to 10 yellow cards for a match ban. So far, in the last 10 minutes, 50% of the ball has been in Manchester United's final third. Only 8% in City's final third. In the last 10 minutes. Pure dominance. Oh, but that's a mistake at the back from City. Højlund is through. Højlund to level it. Oh, Edison does enough, but Højlund keeps it alive. Still going, Højlund. Cuts it back, Fernandes. Wide for a goal kick, but what an opportunity for Manchester United to level it. City just make the mistake. It's Foden, passes it back to his centre-backs. It's Højlund makes the run through the City centre-backs, and he's one-on-one with the keeper, and Edison does enough to put him off. Forced wide, and then the ball back into Fernandes is just fired over the bar, but what an opportunity for Rasmus Højlund to level it for Manchester United. That will give them encouragement that City aren't invincible at the back. But here's Bernardo Silva. He's made a run now. That's well defended by Evans. Picked up by Grealish. Bernardo Silva on the left. Infield to John Stones. Across to Walker. Foden. Foden back to Rodri. Now Walker. Back infield to Foden. Foden from distance flicks it to the left hand side. Finds Grealish on the left flank. Up against Dalot. Has Bernardo Silva in help, but finds a run of Foden in the box. United have bodies there to try and put him off, and Foden trying to win it back, puts it out for a Man United goal kick. I'm just seeing the scenes there. Bobby Charlton's seat. There's a Manchester United scarf hung over that seat where Sir Bobby Charlton would have sat inside Old Trafford. Marcus Rashford said before the game in an interview about how he wants to Manchester United team want to get that win today in this derby for Sir Bobby Charlton in his memory. They're going to fight for him and give their everything for him today. Edison finds Vardiol. Down the left to Bernardo Silva. Vardiol made the run beyond. He's at the byline now. Plays it across, and too deep that from Vardiol, behind for a goal kick to United. Looking at the chat, 58% of the chat are predicting a Manchester United win in the derby. 35% saying a City win, and only 8% predicting a draw. Keep those votes coming in. Great to have you with us for this 191st Manchester derby. Walker. Foden on the right hand side. Rodri. Back to Ruben Diaz. City dominant control of the possession, although not as much as I would have expected. 56%. Expected City to have at least 60%. But that's credit to Manchester United being able to break apart a lot of City's attacks so far and allowing them to, not allowing City to get into flow state really and get their full rhythm in the game. Walker. Ruben Diaz. To Rodri. Now out to Bernardo Silva. He's in a free position. He seems to be the extra man everywhere he goes. Grealish linking up with Bernardo Silva. Silva back to Stones. Now Vardiol. 10 minutes to go in the first half. United 0, City 1. Holland to Stones. Now Rodri. Out to the right hand side is Foden. And now through the lines is Alvarez. Puts a cross in, does Alvarez. Bounce it around. And Maguire had to get rid of it because there was an entanglement between him and Diogo Dalot. It was dangerous, that. Both the Manchester United players got confused. It hit Dalot, then hit Maguire, and then Maguire had to clear it. Had to just boot it away. Bit of miscommunication there between those two. Far too close together, really, in that position. Now give City a corner. Julian Alvarez to take. Right-footed, deep one. Headed away by Evans. Foden keeps it alive. Now Grealish on the left-hand side. Flicks it back for Alvarez. Now to Diaz. Bernardo Silva is on the right-hand side now for the moment. Josko Vardiol. Makes the run through the middle, Vardiol. Now Rodri. Here's Grealish. Completely taken out there by Johnny Evans. And that'll be a free kick to City on the edge of the box on the left-hand side. Really smart from Jack Grealish. Knows that Evans is going to come and challenge him. Just uses his feet really, really well. Tries to get round him. And Evans just takes both feet from underneath Jack Grealish. And City now have a free kick. Johnny Evans, of course, rejoined Manchester United this summer on a one-year deal. I'm sure Manchester United are happy he did with the centre-back injuries they have. Sandro Martinez and Rafael Varane not involved. They've had to rely upon Harry Maguire, who wanted to leave, and Johnny Evans, who only rejoined in the summer. Not what they would have chosen. Free kick for City. Right-footed from Alvarez. Had to be punched over the top of the bar by Andre Onana. Wasn't too far away from Julian Alvarez. Right-footed. Just uses his instep. Tries to find that top left corner. And Andre Onana had to parry it over the bar for a City corner, of which Alvarez will take on the left-hand side. Seems to be the set-piece taker at the moment, Alvarez, for corners and free kicks for City. As that corner's whipped in, half cleared. Amrabat follows up the clearance. Foden picks it up, though. Walker. Phil Foden for Manchester City. And a cross from Foden. Met the head of Ruben Diaz, who put it wide. Andre Onana with a clearance there from that goal kick. The flag was up against Rasmus Højlund though, so that will be a free kick to Manchester City. Don't forget that this isn't the last of our action today. We've an NFL double-header to come for you later as the Bengals at the 49ers. And then Sunday night football as the Bears head to the Los Angeles Chargers. That's late tonight. 12:15 to be exact, AM. Here's Grealish. Works it into the box for City. Grealish takes the strike, takes a deflection off Sofyan Amrabat. And it will be a City corner. They're pushing for this second goal, Man City now. Finding the spaces. Getting into the right areas at the moment. City have had all the corners. 6 corners. United still yet to get one in this game. That's clearly showing the City dominance from set pieces. Here is Alvarez, takes it again. Right-footed in, swinging corner. Right across, headed away by Maguire. In there. All the way back out to Kyle Walker. A bit of a short pass. Foden just stepped in at the right time. From the pressure from Rasmus Højlund. Grealish does keep it in. Referee says plays advantage, and with Alvarez losing possession there. Grealish will get the free kick for Manchester City. He's just fouled there by Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes coming deep, not trying to win the ball, just barges Jack Grealish out of the way after Grealish had won the ball, and it was a foul by the Man United captain Bruno Fernandes. Just update you on the current happenings at Ibrox. It's still Hearts who lead Rangers by a goal to nil. The second half has not long got underway, and that one 3 minutes into the second half. Rangers need a comeback if they're to win against Hearts. Man United need to come back if they're to win against City. But it's City that have the attacking dominance so far. Man United would want, at the very least, to take this into half-time at 1-0. Try and improve their attacking display in the second half. Try and counter City a bit better. Of course, that's a tough ask, really, considering the circumstances. Foden has to carry it in field, finds Vardiol. Now out to the left is Bernardo Silva. Grealish up against Dalot again. Jack Grealish steps in, comes in field, finds Foden linking up with Grealish again on the edge. Amrabat does really well to win the ball back off Grealish and win the foul off Phil Foden. And that's boiling over a bit. Amrabat and Foden. And now Grealish getting himself involved unintentionally. No need for that. In true Derby fashion, there always has to be a scuffle of some sort. And Paul Tierney's calling Phil Foden back over. He's going to have a chat with both players here. Onana's adding his 2p into the mix. The referee's having none of it and is booking both players. Amrabat can't believe that he's being booked, but they were both involved in it. They went head to head, really, quite literally head to head, both Amrabat. But it's frustration from Phil Foden initially. When they lose the ball, he's given away the free kick and then he just throws the ball away. Well, he holds the ball and then he's frustrated with it, giving away the free kick and throws it away, Phil Foden, before he walks away. But they went head to head there, Foden and Amrabat, and both have been booked. Amrabat with his second yellow card of the season, Phil Foden his first. That's poor from Victor Lindelof there, straight out of play, trying to play the ball down the line. Well, since the 31st minute, Manchester United haven't had a single pass in the final third. Manchester City have had 45. That shows the City dominance in the last 10 minutes. And how Manchester United have been really penned in to their own defensive area at the moment. And City have another corner on the right hand side. Paul Tierney's just having a chat with the United captain, Fernandes. Amrabat's still complaining, needs to watch himself, he's on a yellow. Referees don't want arguments now. Very harsh on those two. City corner, right hand side. Alvarez again to take, right footed, whip right across the box. Back post was Rodri coming in, but I think Rashford got the head on it there at the back post to head it clear and out for a City throw. Less than 90 seconds of the 45 to go. United 0, City 1. Erling Haaland's 26th minute penalty. Can't remember the last time I said Erling Haaland's name in the last 15 minutes. A clash off the ball between Fernandes and Alvarez. They wanted a free kick there, United, but they'll not get it for that. That's lovely link up. Foden finds Walker, trying to cut it back to Haaland, but covered by Johnny Evans, who put it out for the corner. There is Haaland. Doesn't have to show up too much. He's had 6 touches in this first half, Erling Haaland, one of them being the penalty that he scored. Doesn't need to be involved too often. It's almost like City are playing with 10 men for the vast majority of the game before Haaland pops up out of nowhere. Another corner, whipped in. Rashford with the first header the second time round, and Maguire heads it clear. Grealish battling, got past Amrabat. Amrabat wanted a foul, but Grealish beat him through skill. Grealish switching the ball to find Alvarez. Bit deeper, Alvarez flicking it over. Haaland flicks it on. Grealish. Man United clear it away. Rashford trying to get on the counter. Second time of asking. It's a 2-on-2. Here's Fernandes trying to find Højlund. Goes to try and find Rashford. Has the pace to try and get past Josko Vardiol, but the City defender does well to clear it away. But United have it back. So we've just surpassed the 45-minute mark, and we will have 4 additional minutes at the end of the half. Here's Højlund. One player who's kind of gone missing in the last 10 minutes for United is Scott McTominay. Haven't seen much of him. Here's Rashford. Finds McTominay. McTominay with a strike! Big save by Edison. Just as I said he was disappearing. Rashford with an incredible ball. McTominay with a lovely run, and the strike right-footed on the half volley against Edison. And a big left-hander from Edison parries it wide for the United corner, their first of the game. They're taking it short. Eriksen with a cross. Far too much height in that one from Christian Eriksen. That'll be a City goal kick. That was incredible reactions from Edison. Rashford with an unbelievable ball. Catches everybody out, and McTominay just makes the run in between the City players again. It was Walker and Diaz that time that were splitting. McTominay just hits it beautifully with the right foot. Strikes right through the ball. Power, pace. Right behind it, and a massive save by Edison to deny United the equaliser. That was much better. Just one long ball. McTominay, heavy first touch, but he recovered it. Finds it to Fernandes. United a bit buoyed after that chance. Bit of confidence now. Here's Eriksen on the run. Finds a bit of space. Trying to play it through, but blocked out by City. Haaland couldn't hold it up. Fernandes keeps it alive. Rashford on the right-hand side. Whips a ball in. Rashford. Headed behind by Ruben Diaz, and that will be another United corner. The crowd are behind them now. They're up here at Old Trafford. City are United with their second successive corner in the space of a couple of minutes. Fernandes, right-hand side, right-footed, whips it in, headed on by Maguire. But he doesn't get that one on target this time, and that goes behind for a City goal kick. But that is what Manchester United can offer. But I spoke around 10 minutes ago and said about how United would love to go into, at the very least, go into the half-time interval with just a 1-goal deficit and nothing more. They've held on and probably had a few chances to level it, make it even better than 1-0 down at the break. Challenge by Lindelof. Foden rides that challenge, plays the ball out to Grealish on the left-hand side. Back in field by Grealish to Vardiol. Now Rodri. Stones makes the run. Well covered by McTominay, but Grealish picks up the loose ball, finds it to Bernardo Silva at the byline, cuts it across. Haaland! What a save! Incredible save by Andre Onana. Haaland should have had 2, but Onana's made an unbelievable save to deny him. It's a chip ball by Bernardo Silva to the back post. Haaland gets past Lindelof, and Onana, full stretch, gets right across the goal and makes an amazing save against Erling Haaland. Unbelievable save. Another City corner from it though, which they have to defend. Whipped in, bouncing around. Højlund gets it headed clear, and that is the half-time whistle. What a huge save that could be from Andre Onana to keep Manchester United 1-0 down at the break. City couldn't get their second to try and give them a better breathing room at half-time, but they do have the narrowest of leads. They've been the better side in the first half, arguably, but United have had 1 or 2 half chances. Andre Onana has been probably United's best player, making some big saves in that first half. Half-time in the Manchester derby, it's Manchester United 0, Manchester City 1. Half time at Old Trafford. It is Manchester United 0, Manchester City 1. At Erling Haaland penalty separating the two sides at the break in the 191st Manchester derby. Well, this will be the last game of the weekend. All the other 9 games, all the scores on your screen now. Crystal Palace were beaten 2-1 by Tottenham on Friday night. 2 goals for Tottenham and another 3 big points for them to take their lead to, well, at the moment it stands at 2 points after Arsenal's win, but on Friday night they were 5 points clear at that point of the rest of the league. 2-1 win there for Tottenham. Chelsea were beaten at home this weekend. They were beaten by Brentford. 2 goals from Brentford to give them a massive 3 points to take them above Chelsea in the table. We'll go through the table in just a moment. Arsenal 5-0 winners against Sheffield United at the Emirates, including an Eddie Nketiah hat-trick. In that one, Bournemouth eked out a 2-1 win against Burnley. They were 1-0 down at one point, Bournemouth. They came back and won 2-1. Wolves came back twice against Newcastle, who took the lead twice in that one to get a 2-2 draw at Molineux. A big job Gary O'Neill is doing. Has Wolves in 12th at the moment. A massive job for them. West Ham were beaten 1-0 at home earlier this afternoon by Everton. A massive result for the visitors there, who moved themselves up into 15th and 5 points clear of the relegation zone. David Moyes' side still in the top half of the table, 14 points from 10 games. And then the 2 o'clock games, which finished around about 40 minutes ago or so. At the moment, let's just tell you about those. Aston Villa won 3-1 against Luton in that game. They took a 3-goal lead. John McGinn, Moussa Diaby and a Tom Lockyer own goal had Villa 3-0 up before a late Emi Martinez own goal denied him a clean sheet and gave Luton the goal. Only a consolation in the end, though, and was Luton lost by 3-1. They remain inside the bottom 3 as it stands. A big result for Fulham away at Brighton, a 1-1 draw for Fulham against Brighton earlier this afternoon. Brighton had taken the lead early in that one. Evan Ferguson in the first half putting Brighton 1-0 up, but it was João Palhinha, the main man it seems at the moment at Fulham, had them back level and got Fulham a massive point away from home, although Brighton had all the dominance since that Fulham goal in the 65th minute. It was all Brighton and they were pushing for that winner but could not find it. In the end, that moves Brighton up into 7th, or keeps them in 7th. Fulham stay in 14th on 12 points. And then at Anfield, Liverpool make it big back-to-back big victories at Anfield. 8 goals in 2 games. Toulouse on Thursday night, and then Nottingham Forest, a 3-0 win for Liverpool in the end. They could have been at 4, but that goal was ruled out from Cody Gakpo late in the game. They dominated the whole game, Liverpool. 73% possession for the vast majority of the game. 21 shots, 8 on target. Similar to that against Everton, where they had 26 shots in that one. They're creating a hat full of chances and scoring a hat full of goals, it seems, at the moment. Liverpool 3-0 winners. Diogo Jota, Darwin Núñez and Mohamed Salah with the goals. Salah's 6th goal in 4 games for Liverpool in that one. And that rounds us off for our 9 Premier League games so far this weekend. Of course, Manchester United 0, Manchester City 1 at the break. The only goal coming from Erling Haaland's 26th minute penalty has City ahead in that one, but City dominated all the first half, really. 61% of the ball to Manchester United's 39%. City have had a 1.54 XG to Manchester United's 0.29 XG in that one. City have had 7 shots, United have had 4. City have had 4 shots on target, United have had 2. City have had 9 corners to United's 2 in that first half. City have had 3 big chances, they've missed 2 of them. Some massive saves from Andre Onana, and especially that one just before half time against Erling Haaland to try and make it 2-0, but a big save from Onana denied him. City have had 267 passes to City, United's 178. City have had 90% pass accuracy to United's 80% pass accuracy. That is where we stand at half time at Old Trafford. Just going to show you the table as it stands at the moment. If it will load. Come on. Taking its time. There we go. Just get that up for you. There we go. There is the Premier League table as it stands. Tottenham top of the table, top of the pile, and Arsenal also second in there. The only two unbeaten sides in the Premier League. City currently winning at Old Trafford, has them 2 points behind Tottenham and level on points with Arsenal on 24. Liverpool just behind them on 23, and Villa on 22 after 10 games. Incredible job Unai Emery is doing there, Villa. But that's the top 5, it seems, quite comfortably at the moment. The rest are at least 5 points or more behind Aston Villa. Newcastle on 17, Brighton on 17, Manchester United currently losing on 15, and West Ham on 14, and Brentford on 13 in 10th. If we look at the bottom of the table and how that looks at this moment in time, if we get down to the bottom, Sheffield United rock bottom of the Premier League table at the moment, only just 1 point from their opening 10 games, only one draw, that draw at home against Everton earlier in the season. They've only scored 7 goals in 10 games and conceded 29 in 10 games. Of course, 8 of those were against Newcastle in one game. Burnley and Luton make up the bottom 3 alongside Sheffield United. Burnley on 4 points, Luton on 5 points from their first 10 games, with both teams still in single digits in terms of scoring goals, conceding goals into the 20s, alongside Bournemouth, who just escaped the bottom 3 yesterday with that win over Burnley in that 6-pointer at the bottom. Bournemouth came out with all 3 points in that one, moved themselves from 19th up to 17th, but there's a gap there too between the bottom 4 and the rest of the league. Forest losing today to Liverpool, they drop to 16th. Everton winning against West Ham, they move up to 15th, and both of those are 4 points clear of Bournemouth and 5 points clear of the bottom 3. And then that cluster of mid-table teams, Chelsea, Wolves, Crystal Palace and Fulham, all on 12 points after 10 games. That is where we stand, and the second half from Old Trafford, where City lead by a goal to nil, is on the way very shortly. welcome back to Premier League Live this Sunday afternoon for the 191st Manchester Derby, where City lead 1-0 at the break. Still to come today, though, on LFS. We have an NFL double-header for you as the Bengals head to the 49ers tonight at 8:25, followed by a late game at 12:20 in the morning as the Chicago Bears head to the Los Angeles Chargers. That is also then followed by a Monday night game tomorrow night late on the channel as the Raiders head to the Lions in that game. And then we've Carabao Cup action on Wednesday as well as Manchester United face Newcastle in the fourth round of the EFL Cup, a repeat of last season's final. We'll be back for the second half of the Manchester Derby in just a second. Right, welcome back to the Premier League Live. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. It'd be greatly appreciated, and we appreciate every single person who is joining us this afternoon for this Manchester Derby. Now this will be, of course, our last stream with these graphics. We'll be back to normal from next week. Back to our normal graphics, of course, next week. Obviously, with Halloween being over, they're going to make just might be some changes coming at half time. There might be a change for Manchester United. Mason Mount is warming up quite profusely on the sidelines there, so he might be coming on. He's got his black armband on. He's taking his bib off, and he's coming on. Is Mason Mount? We'll tell you about that in a second as the players are re-entering the pitch for the second half. A massive second half for Manchester United to try and keep themselves, well, not only in the game, but to try and get something from the game in this second half. As Erik ten Hag just re-enters from the tunnel, coming out and applauding the crowd. They've been pretty good crowd this afternoon at Old Trafford. And we'll tell you about that change then for Manchester United at the break. Mason Mount is coming on, and he is replacing Sofyan Amrabat. Amrabat, of course, he was on a yellow card from that first half. Whether it's an injury issue is unsure, but might just be tactical. Try and change the dynamics of the game and of the United midfield as Mason Mount, signed in the summer from Chelsea, is coming on in his first ever Manchester Derby, of course. As we're back underway then. City get us back underway for the second half with a lead by a goal to nil through that Erling Haaland penalty from the first half. Good afternoon, Fun says, come on United. Some United support there. Fun, you're an Arsenal fan. Oh yeah, of course you want United to win so Arsenal have that lead over City, although they don't lead the league. Ball back to Evans. Forces it long. Mount trying to get his first touches. Does get his first touches. It finds its way back to Johnny Evans under pressure from Foden. Does well, Evans. Plays out from the back nicely. Eriksen going for the switch ball. Chested down by Dalot. Nice quick feet. Plays it in field, and Rashford, Fernandes, apologies, made the run beyond and made the run behind the City defence, and he is in an offside position. So free kick City. Poor. Just a reminder of the teams then, while City have the ball at the back here. Onana in goal, Dalot, Maguire, Evans and Lindelof in defence. Eriksen and Mount now in midfield. Fernandes, McTominay, Rashford and Højlund for United. For City, Edison in goal, Walker, Diaz, Stones and Gvardiol in defence. Rodri and Bernardo Silva in midfield. Alvarez, Foden, Grealish and Haaland in attack. For Manchester City and Manchester United, the players on yellow cards. Phil Foden has a booking, Andre Onana has a booking, and Amrabat has a booking, but he's off the pitch, so it doesn't matter. Here's Rashford after that winning of a free kick for Manchester United. Rashford on the left hand side at the byline, Last touch of a City player, and that will be a corner. Good play from Rashford. Was the pen a pen? I'll speak about that in a second after this corner. Fernandes from distance! Big save by Edison, catches it nicely. There's power behind that one from Bruno Fernandes, with short corner from Rashford right out to Fernandes. Around about 25 yards out. 27 yards out, really. Right footed, strikes right through the ball. Takes it just before it bounces. Edison just brings it to ground and saves it from the Fernandes strike. Massive. A good start to the half there for United. Was the pen a pen? Yes. There was a few talks about it being a soft pen, but I mean, Højlund knows what he's doing. He's pulling him back. Haaland, Foden at the back post actually. Haaland was there, but went past him, and Foden was at the back post and put it over the bar. It's a cross from the left-hand side from Vardio, or was it Bernardo Silva? Bernardo Silva with a cross, and Foden met it at the back post. Lindelof was caught out. The pace of Foden beat him, and he tried to use his left foot there, Foden, and he just used the outside of his boot, and it went well wide for a goal kick. Was the pen a pen? Yes, the pen was a pen. It was talk about, you know, it was soft, but I don't believe so. I believe Højlund knew what he was doing. He pulled back Rodri while he was trying to go for the ball. Højlund had no attempt to go for the ball. He wasn't trying to get the ball in. It was clearly a foul for me. City win the ball back from United's clearance. Here's Alvarez. Space galore, it seems, at the moment for City. Here's Grealish up against Fernandes. United aren't set yet. Bernardo Silva gets to the byline, cuts it back. Haaland, the back post! Onana can't save that one. It's identical to the chance from the first half that Onana saved, but this time the different outcome. Haaland heads it past Onana, and City have a 2-goal lead. Erling Haaland with both goals. I can't believe how identical that chance is to the first half. United didn't learn from it, and they now concede from it. So much space in between the lines. They can't get themselves set in time. The switch ball from, I think that was Alvarez with a switch ball, found the Grealish, and then the run of Bernardo Silva on the overlap, gets to the byline, cuts it back. Everyone's dragged into the middle. Haaland is free on the back post, and he just gets up above it and heads it into the net past Andre Onana. It's identical to the first half. Onana dives, but he can't get anywhere near it this time. And City have daylight at Old Trafford. They haven't lost since May 2021 when leading at half-time. And they have just gone and extended their lead early in the second half to make it a mountain for Manchester United to climb, to try and get even something from this game now. United 0, City 2. There you go. And it's very rare that City would ever falter a 2-goal lead in a game. They're not Arsenal. But can Man United respond quickly? Fernandes, nice touch by Rashford in field. Fernandes there to help him out, with Rodri defending well. Fernandes, now McTominay, down the right hand side is Dalot. Dalot looking for the cross, handball off Grealish there surely. Referee said no, and then Bruno Fernandes gives away a free kick to City in frustration. Just want to see a replay of that. I thought that was a handball. See this again. Dalot with a cross. Oh, it hits his leg. I don't know what they were calling. I'm completely blind. I'll get my Specsavers test because it hit his leg. I'll blame the camera. Still, United 0, City 2. Edison just playing it out from the back there. Too much for Walker, and United will have a throw-in. Well, this makes it so much harder for Manchester United now, of course, going 2-0 down so early in the half. Makes it such a long way back for them. They scored 2 goals in the second half against City last season. to get 3 points. They need 2 goals in the second half against City this season to get just a point, and that's without conceding anymore as well. Here's Ericsson, the single pivot for United in midfield. Maybe that's what's letting them down at the moment. McTominay is extending himself up to attacking areas, and maybe that's leaving United a bit short in defensive midfield. That was the criticism of Casemiro as well. He also isn't here this afternoon. 3 injury. Lindelof. Evans. Mount. Back to Johnny Evans. Nice triangle play there between Mount, Ericsson and Evans. And Evans has to go back to Onana. 7.5 minutes gone of the second half. City have a 2-goal lead. And interestingly now, Erling Haaland is on a hat-trick. The last player to score a hat-trick here was Mohamed Salah for Liverpool. And Liverpool's 5-0 win here a few seasons ago. Erling Haaland just needs one more in the next 35 minutes, 37 minutes, if he stays on the pitch that long, to be the most recent player to score a hat-trick at Old Trafford for the visiting team. Silva makes the run down the left-hand side, and that one was dealt with by Manchester United and Onana. Getting a bit sloppy, United. McTominay gives that one away. Walker. Apologies, a few breakups in the connection there. Apologies about that. Here's Kyle Walker. Now Foden. Few technical difficulties. We do apologise for the break-up here, but City have the ball. Here's Alvarez, blocked by Lindelof. Corner. That's actually just a throw-in. So Man City looking to make it more. United looking to keep the scoreline down for as long as possible and try and get something in this second half. Be some doing if they do so, but so they've only drawn 3 games when leading at half-time since 2021. It's a massive save. Just see the run. Grealish takes the strike from distance, from the edge of the box, right-footed, curling in towards the keeper, which helps out Onana in his save, and he does make the save to parry it wide. He's made some big saves today, Andre Onana. Otherwise, it could be even worse for Manchester United than 2-0. Not really much of a derby at the moment, with City so dominant. Not dominant in possession terms, but dominant in terms of attacking terms. In the second half, City have only had 52% possession, which is making it a competitive game in terms of possession, but with their possession, United, they're not doing anything with it. They can have it all they want, but City will not care as long as they get the chances and the goals, which they have so far. Silva. Diaz. Now Rodri. To Stones. The next goal is crucial. United get it, it's game on. City get it, it's game over. Alvarez, Stones, City pushing for the third. Alvarez, now back to Grealish. Grealish across! Just narrowly wide. Right across the 6-yard box, and was waiting, begging for a tap in, but Phil Foden couldn't get there just in time. It was wonderful build-up play. Alvarez feeds it wide to Grealish. Grealish on trying to play it across, waiting for Foden to just tap it in, but Foden wasn't on the same page as Jack Grealish there. Expecting the ball to feed Foden, although I don't know why, because it was blocked off. That comes to nothing for City. Luckily for United, Edison forced to go long, puts it out of play. United will get a throw in. Manchester United in League Cup action as well this week. On Wednesday night they have Newcastle to come. City, for the first time in a long while, don't have League Cup football this week, so they don't. Put out by Newcastle in the third round. Otherwise, there could have been 2 successive Manchester derbies if City had won that tie. League and Cup, but it's Newcastle that United will face in the week. Not much of an easier test, is it, for United? City have a free kick just inside the United half here. They're taking their long time to take it. Referee saying play it on quickly. Bit of time wasting there from City's point of view. I don't know why they're time wasting at this point. Eriksen battling, loses out to Haaland. Haaland finds Foden in the box now. City. Phil Foden. Rodri. United trying to force them out. Man United have a quick turnaround this week. They play here this afternoon, then they have Wednesday night. They play Newcastle at home, and then they head to Fulham, head down south to Fulham on Saturday in the 12:30 kickoff this Saturday. But Manchester City have the full week off, and then they play Saturday at 3 o'clock at home to Bournemouth before their Champions League tie next Tuesday evening against Young Boys at the Etihad. Long ball from City. Oh, Lindelof just about caught out Onana, but he did well with it, and Evans clears. United need to try and create something at least that will give them a spark, give them something to believe that they can get back into this game, but so far they've really done nothing in the second half. Strange about Sofyan Amrabat. That'll be the question. Is it an injury? Because if it is, that's even worse for Manchester United. More injuries. That's the last thing they need at this moment in time. But he seemed to be breaking a lot of the City play up in the first half. Something that I'm sure Mason Mount won't be doing in the second half as much. He seemed to be kind of playing that hybrid role of sitting deeper and helping out, but also carrying the ball forward for Manchester United. Heavily involved in that first half as a midfielder was Sofyan Amrabat. That kind of helped out McTominay as well in his more advanced position, but now he's had to come deeper, and Mount is playing higher up, which is kind of catching Manchester United out. They're not able to get on the ball in midfield at the minute. Here's Kyle Walker. Foden. Alvarez, Rodri. Back to Alvarez. It's taking their time. They're calm as you like. At the moment, we have a late goal in the Scottish Premiership, and for the vast majority of the game, for 85 minutes of the game, Hearts have led by 1-0. Rangers had a penalty at just before half-time, was missed by James Tavernier. They have a penalty at the end of the second half, and James Tavernier doesn't miss 2 in a row. He gets that and levels it for Rangers in the 90th minute. They've just surpassed that 90-minute mark, and they will head into extra time, added time, with it level 1-1. Rangers and Hearts at Ibrox. Of course, Celtic, dropping points yesterday away at Hibernian. Rangers would love to pounce upon those drop points and get the victory against Hearts at home and close the gap to the top of the table on Celtic. But at the moment it is Rangers 1, Hearts 1. Manchester United would have loved that to be the scoreline here, but yet it's 2 goals to City and none for United at the moment. City clear their lines. Grealish heads it out to Vardiol on the left hand side. He loses possession. McTominay picks it up. Now a bit of a movement here for United to break forward. Højlund, Eriksen. Now McTominay on the right hand side. Eriksen. Now down the right is Dalot. Has to cut it back to Eriksen. They have to get the ball in the box. Eriksen with a cross. Headed away by Diaz. Only as far as Lindelof, who gathers it, gives it to Maguire. Now Eriksen again. Maguire. A goal back for United would really relight their fire in the second half and reignite their energy and ability. That's lovely from Dalot. Finds Fernandes across. Rashford was waiting at the back post. Walker wins the first header and the second header, and Foden heads it clear. And now Alvarez can carry it away for City. Try and get them up the other end of the pitch and get away from their goal. Foden has it in the United half, and Alvarez now goes back to Walker. And you would not believe it, I'll tell you, there's another goal at Ibrox. I'll tell you about that in a second. I'll actually tell you about it now with City in calm position, and it's a complete turnaround. Rangers have won it, it seems. They've got another goal and they lead 2-1 against Hearts, and they look like they will capitalise upon Celtic's drop points yesterday, and they will go within 5 points of top of the table Celtic with a win today. They're leading 2-1 into added time. Capitulation from Hearts, really. Evans down the line, finds the run of Rashford. There might have been a handball in there. The referee didn't see it. Pep Guardiola definitely did, and he's complaining to the fourth official. Officials didn't give it. Here's Mount. Now moving down the right hand side. Dalot with a cross. Cut away by Stones. Vardiol under pressure from Mason Mount. Josko Vardiol has to go back to Edison, who fires it long. Maguire holding on off Haaland, and Evans picks the ball up for United again. Better spell of possession for Manchester United. Starting to find those passes where they need to get them to. Maguire through the lines, finds Fernandes, but Dalot made the run too early, and Fernandes' ball went straight out of play for a City throw-in. See what Erik ten Hag trying to figure out what he does next, what his next move is. 25 minutes to go. It's 2-0. It's finally balanced here. Although City have a 2-goal lead, we know how good Manchester United are coming back, and McTominay intercepts a pass there. Tried to make the pass, but it was in. Broke apart by Alvarez. Eriksen picks up the loose ball, still running with it. Eriksen on the right hand side puts the cross in and wins the corner. Deflection off Josko Vardiol. United have a corner. It's better for Manchester United. Breaking up the City the play. Pouncing upon City. Kind of lax play. The fact that they're just too calm. Too casual with it sometimes, City. They give the ball away when they shouldn't. And now have a corner, Manchester United. Whipped in. Headed behind at the first front post by Rodri. So another United corner will come. A goal now for United would certainly change the dynamics of the game. Change the momentum of the game. As they say, goals change games. And if United get the next one, who knows what could come after that. They've got height, they've got men that can head it from corners as the corner's whipped in. But City get it away again by Stones. Fernandez recycles it. Dallo. Now, Ericsson cuts it back to Dallo. Dallo isn't going to cross it in just yet. Finds it back to Ericsson. Now Fernandez, who will put a cross in, but that one's not the best, and that's cleared away by City again. That will bounce out of play, and United will get the throw in. Fernandez having a shout at his team. Not quite happy with how they dealt with that corner. In an attacking sense. Didn't do enough. Lindelof. Now to the United captain, Bruno Fernandes. Back to Harry Maguire. Lindelof. Out wide. Taken down by Dallo. Ericsson. Ericsson with a long ball. Trying to find Rashford on the run. Rashford makes the run. Rashford with a strike. Just wide. An incredible run by Marcus Rashford. An incredible ball as well. Great ball from Christian Eriksen to find the run of Rashford. He makes the run beyond the City defence and just gets past Kyle Walker, beats him, chests it down. Rashford in the box. He feels Walker coming on the other side of him, waits for him to pass and takes it with his right foot to try and find the bottom corner. And it's just narrowly wide by Marcus Rashford. What a massive moment that was. That had hit the back of the net. That would have completely changed the complexity of this game. But as it is, United haven't scored. And they still remain 2-0 down. That's how crucial. Despite City having a 2-goal lead, it's still on a knife edge. It's still not a certainty for City at the moment. With such a long time to go, a long way to go in the game. United will still get opportunities, they'll still get chances to score, and if they score one of them, as I mentioned, you never know what can happen. From City's point of view, they need to get the third goal as quickly as possible and really kind of put to bed all of those kind of worries that they might have, although City won't have them really. Put any of United's hopes of coming back into this game to bed really. That's what they'll try and do with the third goal. Ever so sweet if it was Erling Haaland from their point of view, scoring a hat-trick at Old Trafford in the derby. Still time to go into the last 20 minutes of the Manchester derby, with United leading, or City leading 2-0 against United. That's a lovely ball, finds Jack Grealish. Haaland trying to make the run through. Here's Erling Haaland, can he finish it? Big save by Andre Onana wide for the corner. Grealish to Haaland. I just thought there was going to be one outcome and Haaland would finish it, but really good goalkeeper from Andre Onana, just comes out at the perfect time, sees Haaland going a bit wide, trying to come in a cross goal and makes himself really big. Andre Onana, and he just bounces off him and out wide for the corner. What an opportunity for City to make it 3-0. Big save by Onana. Corner taken short. Grealish up against Ericsson, gets past Fernandez, whips the ball in, cleared away by Evans. Grealish will pick it up again. Alvarez. United readying some more changes, it seems so. Referee's played advantage from a City foul there. Rodri. Haaland. Now Bernardo Silva. City just patiently working the United defence again. Stones to Bernardo Silva. On the right hand side, Bernardo Silva this time. Has to go all the way back to Kyle Walker, who's central. Back to Silva on the right. Now Foden. 3 United players. Bernardo Silva made the run into the box, but Lindelof will have to defend it, and oh, Onana doesn't make the save. It's still about in the box, and United do eventually deal with it. Well, half clear it. Don't clear it fully. Stones wins it back. Diaz. Now across to the left-hand side. Vardiol crosses it Failed again to the right hand side, but no one in a City shirt over there to gather it, and that will run for a United throw. It just comes from this. The run into the box from Bernardo Silva kind of unsettles this United defence. Lindelof waiting for his keeper. His keeper doesn't come for, well, he comes for it, but he doesn't grab it. He doesn't gather it, and it causes a bit of panic. But United eventually get away. United making a double change here. Lindelof is coming off. He's replaced by Sergio Reguilon. And the second substitution is Alejandro Garnacho is coming on to replace Rasmus Højlund. So an attacking change and a defensive change for United. United have a throw-in. Going to need to get this game going shortly if they're to change the outcome of this. Walker goes all the way back to Edison. Fernandes is going to make a run. Manchester United have only led 29 minutes at home this season. That's disappointing, considering they've been behind for 269 minutes. Grealish took a shot from distance there, but well wide. The left post dealt with. As we are about to be into the last 15 minutes, I actually took a deflection off the Grealish shot, so it will be a City corner. City have had 16 shots, to United 6. 8 of those have been on target, to United's 3. Corner whipped in, taken short, brought in from the left-hand side. Rodri won the header, but cleared away by United, and Fernandes. Now Garnacho. Eriksen back to Garnacho, just too short for Garnacho to gather. City put it out for a United throw. A goal now for United would certainly unsettle a few things. Eriksen. Maguire. Out to Reguilon on the left. Garnacho. Back to Evans. They just made a few tactical tweaks, they United. Fernandes in the middle. Mount on the right hand side. Garnacho's occupying the left, and I think Rashford's gone through the middle then. It seems. That ball through the middle. Intercepted by City. Vardiol. Now Foden. Trying to find Haaland, but Maguire had that one covered. Headed it down to Evans. Back to Maguire. Maguire. No pass forward. Onana. Out to Reguilon. Garnacho having to come deep but couldn't keep the ball. Stole away from him by Kyle Walker. It goes back to Diaz and now back to Edison in the City goal. That's 14 minutes plus additional time. City are quite comfortable at the moment. 2-0 to the good in a comfortable position. The England manager Gareth Southgate's in attendance this afternoon, as expected. Typical. City with a throw in. Find a bit of space for Ruben Diaz, but they'll just pass it at the back again. Not looking to force the issue at this late stage, City, with their 2-goal lead. Walker. City just, again, dominating the ball. But what they have been today, they haven't completely bombarded the United defence, but they've picked and chosen where their moments are, and when they got their moments, they've been deathly clinical from them. Alvarez. Here's Foden. Trying to find Alvarez again. United crowd out the box. Foden. Now Bernardo Silva. But this is where City work it well, in intricate spaces. They can break down those strong defences, the most strongest of defences they can break down with cute, intricate play. But as I said, they're not trying to force the issue, just trying to manage this game as much as possible and make sure that United don't get a goal back to really make it a frantic ending. They just want to have a calm ending to this game, City. Third goal would pretty much be the icing on top of the cake for this Manchester derby. Walker. Bernardo Silva now to Vardiol. Back to Bernardo Silva. A lot deeper now, Bernardo Silva. Quite literally in the back four. Lovely ball from Silva, finds Alvarez. Now Foden on the right hand side. He's not going to run at Reguilon, but Reguilon's going to track him right through the middle. Foden does well to lay off the ball to Bernardo Silva. Now Grealish on the edge of the box, on the left hand side. Can't find a runner in. Has to go round the corner, finds Rodri. Space opens up for Rodri, will strike it. Big save, Haaland to pick up the scraps across and Foden it in. Phil Foden, the boyhood Manchester City fan, surely wraps it up now for City in the derby. And they're not going to get the win today, Manchester United. They're not even going to get a point at this point. And that's what we were waiting for. Was there to be a goal at either end? And City have got the crucial third goal that has taken this completely away from Manchester United. The space just opened up for Rodri. Took the strike, parried wide by Onana. Should have done better from that, the goalkeeper. Just parried it right out into the feet of Erling Haaland. Haaland just played it across. He thought he was going to strike it because he's on a hat-trick. Just played it across, spotted Foden was making the run. And he just taps it in, Phil Foden. Incredible. And with 10 minutes to go, City have so much of an extension of their lead that there's nothing, absolutely nothing for them to worry about now. Manchester United 0, Manchester City 3. Well, there you go. And now, this familiar sight really, of United fans leaving Old Trafford pretty early. I'll just be hoping now, Manchester United, it doesn't become embarrassing. That it stays at 3-0 and doesn't get any worse than that for them at the moment in time. This win will take Manchester City up into third. They'll stay in third, sorry. 8 wins out of 10. 2 defeats this season from City, unlike them in their first 10 games. 24 points. They will be 2 points behind Tottenham after this. They're not finished with scoring yet, City, it seems. Foden tried to almost replicate the Wayne Rooney overhead kick that is so memorable in a Manchester derby. He didn't quite get the, didn't catch the ball anywhere near the way Wayne Rooney did that day. It's not too far away. Yeah, it's not too far away and just wide of the left post. Now they're doing the push, Nan. The City fans in that far corner. It's real glory and fantastic for them today. There was a question as to whether Manchester United always up their level in a derby game. Always give City a good game, but they haven't really today. Here's Eriksen to win the loose ball, though. Is there time for a consolation? Garnacho tried to cross it, blocked by Diaz in there. Foden carrying it away, does incredibly well past Reguilon and forces a challenge off a United player, and that'll be a City throw-in. Or sorry, United throw-in. Last touch was off Phil Foden. So was that one. Another United throw. And City's XG is unreal today. 3.75 XG. They're expected to score 3 goals at the very least. Expected to almost score 4 goals from the chances they've created today. A lot of teams usually outperform their XG in games. The second half has been chalk and cheese from the first, really. It was quite even in the first half. But the second half, City have gone a few levels above, and have dominated Manchester United from start to finish in this half. And United had a small spell in the middle of the half where they had a few bits of attacking, a good attacking play, but they didn't really create much from it, and only got 1 shot on target in the second half, Manchester United, compared to the 2 they had in the first half, really. They've just not created enough. Well, this is now just a formality, really. The City 3-0 up. You would argue there's nothing much more to come from this other than maybe another City goal, or there could be a consolation from United. Rashford was in a dangerous area there and he's won them a corner. I think it's a bit too late for a comeback for United now, even if they do get a goal, but you never know, stranger things have happened. West Ham have scored 3 goals in the last 10 minutes of games. It's a bit less than that now. They were 3-0 down. Fernandes with a corner. Eriksen trying to strike right through it, blocked. Walker was the man who blocked the ball there. Rashford picks up on the right hand side for United. Trying to get a ball into the box, but that was took a deflection off Bernardo Silva. Really took the pace away from it. City can clear their lines again. Last man there was Reguilon, and he made a nice touch. Feeding it in field now. McTominay back to Reguilon. Got a bit confused there. Maguire has it on the edge. Reguilon, now Maguire. Cleared away by City. Evans now. As United recover the ball. Eriksen brought down by Dalot. Out wide for Mount, who can't keep it in. And that'll be a City throw in. Manchester United making another double change. Maybe too little too late, really. At this point, Anthony and Anthony Martial are coming on. Eriksen coming off in replacement of Anthony, and Anthony Martial coming on to replace Marcus Rashford. So he's taken the more changes there. Erik ten Hag and City are going to make some more changes just to see this one out. Kovacic and Doku are coming on. Some bench they have. Manchester City. Incredible bench. So Alvarez and Grealish are going to make way then. So Alvarez makes way for Kovacic, and Grealish is going to make way for Jeremy Doku. It's nice 6 straight games in a Manchester derby where Man United haven't kept a clean sheet. It might be the first time in 4 games with City keeping a clean sheet in a derby, if they can hold on. Both teams have scored in the last 4 of the last 5 Manchester derbies, but it looks to be could be a clean sheet for City today. They could make it even better of a scoreline. Here's Foden. Bernardo Silva, Foden, back to Bernardo Silva, but Evans on the cover, clears his lines. Walker, though, keeps it alive. Foden. Stones. That's broken apart. Now United on the break. Here's Garnacho, the pace down the left-hand side. Pace to burn, does Garnacho, but Walker's a match for him. And Walker puts it out for the corner. Man United's 3-game winning run will be coming to an end. The first to score in 5 of the last 7 games, but of course not that run also ends. It's really a day of kind of a wake-up call for Manchester United to show that how far they still are off City's level. City don't even need to get to top gear and can still beat them by quite a significant margin. Really, they've been toying with them in the second half more than anything. They've been comfortable the whole way through, Manchester City. The game in the first half was, I wouldn't say even, but I would say with City's chances they didn't do enough in that first half. But the second half, they just turned up the gear. City went to another level, complete other level that Manchester United couldn't even match. And that's why they are where they are at the minute. That's why they're the champions 3 successive seasons in a row. And the treble winners. That's why they are where they are. Manchester United in camp, just holding the ball up. Just for a second there, they've just given away a City throw-in. After that, as I mentioned earlier, Newcastle in the cup to come for Manchester United. City have the week off. They play Bournemouth at home next Saturday before they have a home tie against Young Boys in the Champions League. Manchester United head to Fulham next weekend in the Premier League before their Champions League tie against Copenhagen away from home. Into the last few seconds of the 90 then, with Old Trafford emptying as it has been for the last 10 minutes or so since that Phil Foden goal. Just minute by minute, less and less people in this stadium, and we will have 4 minutes of added time, as we did in the first half. It will only be 4 minutes to add on. Will it be 4 for City? Will they get that 4th? Erling Haaland's still on the pitch. He can still get a hat-trick. That really would be unbelievable. Now they've started the Olays, the City fans. Rodri finds Stones. Now Bernardo Silva. Under pressure there, Rodri keeps it. Switches the ball. Can't find it to Jeremy Doku. Had that covered there, did Dalot. Now Anthony. Uses his pace, but City have the ball back. Vardiol. Rodri to Kovacic. Back to Rodri. Everything's going through him. Rodri at the moment. Here's Doku on the left-hand side for City. Riding challenges galore there, City, but Doku. Oh, Anthony's just lost his head a bit here. He's just slapped out at Jeremy Doku. He's lucky to get away with a yellow card there, Anthony. Doku's also going to get one, I think. Just see this again. Doku just gets past Anthony, and Anthony, with a bit of frustration, just swipes a leg at Jeremy Doku. And then he just points his finger, Doku, and Anthony just slaps it away. It's just unnecessary, that, but it's frustration from Anthony. That's no excuse. He's booked, and so is Jeremy Doku for taunting him. Taunting him. What is an animal? Anyway, free kick City on the left-hand side into the last 2 minutes of the game. Here's Doku. Trying to get past Fernandez. Does so incredibly well. Here's Jeremy Doku. Going himself at the byline. Can he cut it back? Will be a City corner. Just took a deflection off a United player as it went out of play there. From Jeremy Doku. Burst of pace. Incredible quick feet as well. And now Bruno Fernandes is not happy with the referee for some reason. He felt he was fouled. He just kicks out at Doku. And he's been booked, Bruno Fernandes, for complaining to the referee. It's almost like the old Bruno Fernandes is back. The whinge. Kovacic. Blocked. Maguire trying to clear it away. Rodri pulled back there. Surely. That's another free kick to Manchester City. Evans this time giving away the free kick. They're not careful, Man United. They might have older players on a yellow card before the end of the game. Fernandes, his 4th yellow card of the season. One more and he will miss a Premier League game. They can hardly do without another missing player. Can't do that. Maguire kicked the ball away. Should he not be on a yellow card too? Strange. Well, free kick for City. Haaland's on a hat-trick. You never know, he might get the chance. I don't know what the referee's still talking to a few players here. I think Anthony and Doku. Referee's just having a chat with them about the earlier kind of scuffle they had. The referee will set up for this free kick. This surely is the last action of the Manchester derby. A City free kick. The difference, 3 or 4 will it be? City love a good free kick goal, but Haaland's around it, along with a few other players. Walker and Diaz and Bernardo Silva all around it. I think you should give Haaland a chance. If he scores, he scores. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He still won 3-0 at the end, and Haaland might have a chance at a hat-trick. I'm just seeing a replay when they were setting up for that free kick. That's why the referee had a chat with them. Jeremy, Doku and Anthony were still continuing their argument afterwards, and that's why the referee had to have a chat with both players. Of course, both on a yellow card now after the initial scuffle. There's still 3 or 4 City players around this free kick. They've all moved away. Haaland is stepping up for it. It looks like Erling Haaland will take it. They want to give him his chance. Haaland steps up, left-footed, hits the wall. And that's the final whistle. They didn't score, but City get 3 points after a 3-0 win in the Manchester derby. Their first clean sheet in a Manchester derby in 4 straight derbies. And 3 points to take them back within touching distance of top of the table Tottenham. They're level on points with Arsenal in second. City stay in third, behind on goal difference. They've closed the gap on Arsenal, but they won't go above them tonight. It's a really, really good performance from City. They didn't look uncomfortable whatsoever throughout that game. United had few and far between chances, but it's City dominance that sees them light up Manchester in blue tonight. Until the next time a Manchester derby comes around, they will have the bragging rights, as they have for practically the last decade since the departure of Sir Alex Ferguson from Manchester United. Erik ten Hag will have to go and figure out what went wrong for United today. What went wrong is they just not on City's level, and that's probably what it was in the end. City were toying with United in the first half. They didn't really need to do very much. They got a penalty under controversial circumstances from some points of view, and they turned the gear up in the second half and took it completely away from Manchester United. 2 goals from Haaland and a goal from Phil Foden to top it off gives Manchester City a derby day win. Final score from Old Trafford: Manchester United 0, Manchester City 3.